Hi everybody, so today I'm going to be reviewing the new Dermadry, the new model. So this video is sponsored by Dermadry. Thank you very much guys. So here I have the old model over here that I was using, and right out of the bat I could see that the packaging is just much smaller, just the casing as well. So I'm just going to unbox this, take it out here. So yeah, that's just about half the size, which is always good. I always found this a little bulky. So it comes with a nice strap here. I'm just going to take it off. Okay. So one thing I could say about Dermadry is that someone that has been affected with sweaty hands for most of my life, it has definitely helped with the excessive sweating, and but the issues I had was that just the retention rate, it was just very hard for me all the time to do it. And one thing I just noticed right off the bat, here's just that unit. One thing I noticed off the bat is that the older model, the previous model, so it had towels that you put on here, and then you had to wet the towels, and I always found that very it would take a lot of time, very and just a little cumbersome. And sometimes the towels, you know, they would have to dry. I don't have to put them there. And I just noticed that here I have these nice pads over here, which is a nice rubber pad, which is much easier to use than the previous towels. I don't even have it. You could just imagine there's a small towel there. So I'm gonna put this away here. Here's just the manual. Okay, with the different settings. So I like to use it, like I mentioned, for my hands. But there's also, you know, for your armpits, for your this is hands and feet. Okay. Again, I really like that, just much smaller, more compact. Let's see how the first, so it's telling me here, I just need to place the electrodes. So nice, easy pad there, instead of before it was just these big trays, big bulky trays. So I really like that, and like I said, I already see that I'll be able to use it much easier. And again, the idea is the retention level for me was that issue, because it was just the whole process. But this already seems much more compact and easier to use. And then it's saying, okay, great. I'm gonna just put these guys over top here. And again, different, like I was mentioning before, different, you could use it for your, so if you're using it for your feet, just put it down. If you're using it for your armpits, you put it in your armpit. I myself have never used it for that. I've always used it for my hands. And it really, so as you go, you know, at the beginning you use it a little more often, you have to do the protocol, and then you use it less and less, and just for maintenance. So I would say I noticed about 90% less sweating for my hands, and that was, for me, that was the best product that I've used, and I've gone through different, you know, creams and things like that, and I found the greatest success with this. All right, so now I'm just gonna take this tray here, and it's just a very simple process. Attach these little guys here. I'm just attaching them. And I'm pouring, it's just my water and just a cup per tray. Very simple, very easy to use. There we go. Perfect. As I mentioned before, there were just that the big tray and the towels, but here it's just very simple with these rubber pads. And I'm able to, I just turn this guy on. So I'm just turning it on, and there's different modes you could use for your hands as well. Just very simple process. Here it talks about, you know, the different modes, the different features of it, and I'm just going to turn it on. And all you do essentially is you just place your hands here. And yeah, that is much easier. Even the feel of these pads are much better than the towels. So those towels, again, like I mentioned, I would have to always dry them, take them out. It always, for me, it seemed like a headache, but this is really nice. And these, especially the lower level, so these trays, I'm just going to turn it off. Okay. And again, it's a very small current, doesn't hurt at all. So these guys are much slimmer compared to the old version, where you could see it was higher, it was a little higher up. So I would find that sometimes my wrists, when I would put my hands in, it would bother my wrists and forearms. Yeah, and once again, I would like to thank Dermadry for sending me this. And if anyone's out there that's thinking about trying something like that for their hyperhidrosis, I highly recommend it. It's very non-invasive. It was just mainly, for me, it was mainly that retention rate, but it looks very simple with these pads. You know, I just take these guys out. I take these guys out here. And take the pads out. Very simple. It's going to dry. Unlike the previous towels, it would just take a lot to dry, and I would have to find them, and they would shrink. Yeah, overall, I'm very pleased with this new type, the new additions. It's much slimmer, and I could definitely see myself using it more often. Again, the retention rate for me was the biggest problem. Thank you very much, guys, and go check out Dermadry, the new version.